The way out of anxiety is not the way you think it is. A lot of clients come to me and they just want me to show them some quick tip, trick, or hack to make their anxiety go away, to stop it in its tracks. That approach of wanting to resist and push away the anxiety just isn't very helpful. So I love the teachings of Dr. Claire Weekes. She was an Australian doctor who worked with clients who had severe panic disorder and agoraphobia. She really worked with clients by teaching them this approach to their anxiety that was an approach of trying to drop that resistance to the anxiety. So I like a lot of her ideas, and this practice that I'm going to introduce to you is based on her practice called floating. So Dr. Claire Weekes grew up in Australia around the ocean, and she talked about how when you're caught up in a rip current, you don't need to swim against the current. That's going to tire you out. And we can use that metaphor for anxiety, that swimming against, pushing against the anxiety is rarely helpful. Resisting against it and really fighting it, often it just makes the anxiety worse. We kind of add this secondary layer to the anxiety, and that secondary layer is our resistance to the anxiety. We'll often get anxious that we're feeling anxious. We start feeling some anxiety symptoms and think, oh no, there's the anxiety. Make it stop, make it go away. And that's that secondary layer of anxiety that we're adding to a feeling and a sensation that's already there. So Dr. Claire Weekes coached her clients through dropping that outer layer of anxiety and just floating with the anxiety. When you're in the ocean, you can just kind of relax your body and you'll be lifted up by that salt water where you can rest and relax for a moment, and you're probably going to get a bit further than fighting and swimming against that current. So I really like that metaphor for anxiety, that fighting against it isn't helpful. Resisting it is not helpful. Instead, we want to take this approach of opening up to it. I know that sounds like something that is not very appealing, going into the anxiety. What are you talking about? But bear with me here. I think that if you practice it a little bit, you might open your mind to the idea. Whenever we practice this concept of floating, we think of opening up to the sensation of anxiety rather than trying to push it away. We might think of softening the muscles in our shoulders, in our body. We focus on the breath, breathing in nice and slow, all the way down into the bottom of our lungs, completely exhaling, emptying the lungs completely. And we try to focus on that sensation of anxiety. When I'm doing a guided session with clients, I encourage them to try to notice where in their body they're feeling the anxiety, how big it is. Sometimes, depending on the age or, how much time we have, we might explore what shape is the anxiety. Does it have a color? If so, what color would it be? Is it in the throat? Is it in the chest? Is it in the belly? Where do we feel that sensation of anxiety? And then we try to open up our body and we breathe into that sensation of anxiety. When we're doing a guided session, I usually ask people if they can try to just really sink in to that sensation. Can we open up to that feeling just a little bit more? Can we imagine dropping all of our resistance to the anxiety? As we continue to breathe, soften, and relax the body. Usually, after engaging in this guided practice for a few moments, almost everyone describes feeling the anxiety become smaller or shifting, maybe dissipating in some way. I think of it as a dam, that by dropping our resistance, we're kind of allowing that emotion to just go on and flow through us. Clients usually tell me, oh, that was really relaxing, or yeah, the anxiety feels smaller, or I don't feel anxious anymore. People have different experiences, and the goal is not to push the anxiety away. The goal is not to get rid of the anxiety, but it is an interesting concept that by doing the opposite of what our knee-jerk reaction is, which is like push it away, stop it, resist it, and we have these internal states of resistance that we do. We might not be physically resisting the anxiety, but we probably have this internal mental reaction to the anxiety, and that comes with bodily responses as well. It comes with shortened breath, probably tensed muscles, maybe your shoulders are more raised. And so just by practicing the opposite, dropping the shoulders, opening up the body, softening the muscles, breathing into the sensation and trying to really drop into the feeling, a lot of times that feeling will go ahead and pass. It's counterintuitive, I know, but I encourage you to play around with this idea that's based on Dr. Claire Weekes' practice of floating. The more we practice that approach, whenever we feel anxiety rising up in us, whenever we continually practice that approach of dropping the resistance, opening up, breathing into it, feeling that feeling completely, maybe sending it some compassion, our mind kind of starts to get trained into having a new reaction to that anxiety. Our mind is really malleable, our patterns are changeable, and so we can get into different habits. We can get into a different habit of reacting to that anxiety when it comes up. And so by practicing non-resistance to the anxiety, it often allows us to let it pass, or even if it doesn't pass, that anxiety experience is probably going to be a lot more manageable than resisting and pushing it away, or kind of panicking that we're even feeling anxious. So let me know if you've played around with that strategy before. Let me know if you found that helpful or interesting. And also let me know in the comments if you would be interested in me creating a guided mindfulness meditation where I guide you through a few minutes of that floating exercise. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I look forward to connecting again soon.